5 most devastating mistakes that will blow up your real estate deal. We are going to go from the easiest mistakes to avoid to the hardest mistakes to avoid. Whether you're in a transaction now or you may be in the future, this is really awesome information to hang on to. Deal destroyer number 1. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. About 6 or 7 months ago, I had a client that really wanted to go shopping for a house. This was a young family, 2 small children, first-time buyers. There was one thing that I suggested they do, but they were so excited. They said, no, that piece is fine. Let's get out there and start looking at houses. And they said, all right. It was the heat of summer, and we are out every weekend in 100-degree weather looking at properties all day on the weekends. It was grueling. The children were crying. We had to stop for popsicles. It was rough. A few months later, we finally found the right house for them. They were so excited. It had a pool. It was 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in the perfect location for them to raise their family. This was going to be a home they were going to be in for decades. I told my clients, make sure you get me your pre-approval letter. I was getting ready to write the offer. My client called me and she told me that she had spoken with her lender and there was something on their credit. They couldn't get the loan to buy the house. They couldn't buy their dream home. I completely understand how this happens. You get so excited. You're on Zillow scrolling and saving and you say, Dana, go show me this house. This is the house. Go get pre-approved first. Don't let this happen to you. Deal destroyer number 2. Just say no to the Lambo. I had these clients that were moving up to a larger property. They had a home at 1,500 square feet and what they wanted was a larger home. We found them a 2,500 square foot, beautiful modern property and they were excited. They were excited to have all of this new space that they needed furniture for. So you know what they did? Right before we closed escrow, they went to RC Willey, they opened up a brand new credit card and they maxed it out. They bought all of this furniture for their brand new house. Here's something you need to know. Right before a transaction closes escrow, the lender will re-pull your credit to make sure nothing has really shifted in your credit space. For example, that you haven't opened a new credit card and maxed it out. In this situation, my clients were no longer eligible to buy the home of their dreams because they did this. This is something very easy to avoid. Do not do anything with your credit in the middle of a transaction. Don't open a new credit account. Don't max it out. In fact, check with your lender before you charge Q-tips at Rite Aid. It sounds extreme, but just better to be safe than sorry. Deal destroyer number 3, the upgrade trap. I'm going to tell you a story that is actually happening right now. In fact, she's been a client of mine for years. I've helped her sell and buy real estate over the last decade. She was moving closer to be near her daughter and grandchild. So we went shopping. We found the house. We wrote the offer. We got the house, which meant we had to sell my client's house because that's where the money was to buy the new house. We got a buyer and then we lost the buyer halfway through the transaction. Thankfully, the seller gave us enough time to get another buyer, which we did. But guess what? We also lost that buyer. Thankfully, the seller one more time gave us more time to get another buyer, which I have. This deal is ongoing right now. I am hopeful that it concludes within the next couple of weeks, but you're going to have to check back with me to find out how this one ends. As you can see, it gets awfully complicated, and this is just one more thing that can cause your real estate deal to blow up. Getting 3 buyers in a row in a very short amount of time is pretty uncommon. More often than not, the seller would just cancel this transaction and go back to market because they actually want to sell their house. There is risk to this, and there always will be. So how do we set ourselves up to win? Well, we price the house correctly, we adhere to timelines, we verify a buyer's pre-approval. We still have 2 more left, and I've thrown in a bonus for one that you may want to actually have happen. Deal destroyer number 4, when the best offer is actually the worst offer. So I had these first-time buyers. We had a limited budget to work with. We found a great house in the school district that was really important to them. It was a really hot time in the marketplace, and there were already multiple offers on this house. So we had to come in over listing price in order to get our offer accepted. We went through inspections. The house was in great shape. We're getting ready to close. And then we had a monkey wrench thrown at us. The lender let us know that the appraiser said it wasn't worth that much money. Normally, this is where a deal would fall apart. But what most agents don't know is that you can actually fight an appraisal. So I ran my own market analysis. I looked at what other houses were selling for in the neighborhood, and I sent it over to the lender and sent it to the appraiser. And they came back and they said, you know what, Dana, you're right. The value is there. They increased the appraisal amount, and my clients purchased the home and are still living there to this day. Deal destroyer number 5, liar, liar, pants on fire. There are already so many complexities in a real estate transaction, layer after layer after layer. Let's add another one. I had a good friend that purchased a home with a pool a few years ago. This was just the epitome of making it for her. She was very excited. The first month when bills came in, she was shocked. The water bill came in hundreds of dollars more than what she expected. This really messed with her because she had budgeted everything to the penny in regards to what she could spend per month on bills. And this was way out of what that budget was. So we knew something was wrong. And she started investigating. She had a pool guy come out and take a look. He couldn't find anything. And then her gardener came out one day and he talked to her and said, hey, your sprinkler system is set to go off at 2 a.m. for about 30 minutes, and the hose is attached to the pool. So what was happening was there was a leak in the pool, and this was filling it overnight. It was clear that the seller did this on purpose. And in fact, in some of the disclosures, this specific question is asked, and the seller never told us this information. There is very little we can do once escrow closes. We went to the sellers. We did ask them to correct the situation. They said no. And that left my client no option other than to take them to court, which we did. My client ended up winning, costing the seller thousands and thousands of dollars. If there is nothing else you take from this video, always disclose. And we are on to the bonus. Deal destroyer bonus. Lipstick on a pig. I had some clients I was helping buy a house. My clients really wanted quartz countertops and a completely remodeled kitchen. We found what appeared to be a beautiful property, wrote an offer, got it into contract. We started diving into our inspections. That's where things went sideways. There was a buckling floor, there were water leaks in the roof, and what had happened in the attic, because of the water leaks, there was mold, mildew. The house wasn't habitable. My clients were really torn when we found out this information. We had looked at dozens of homes, and this was the house that they really wanted. But their daughter had a mold and mildew sensitivity. So at the end of the day, they decided they simply could not move forward in this transaction. So this is a great example of when you actually want a deal to blow up. The buyer is in the driver's seat and they were able to cancel this transaction. And this is exactly why you want to get your inspections in. If the offer is written and set up correctly, it allows you the ability to leave the transaction without any penalty. You know the rules. Always listen to a cat that has sweet glasses. Watch this video up here.